Hello, Crown Farm. Here's our next market report for the month of April 2025. Once again, I'm Jess with Hagan Realty. I hope everyone has enjoyed the start of this exciting spring season as much as I have. As usual, at this time of year, the market has picked up and we have 13 properties to go over. Let's start with the ones that have sold. 189 Copley Circle, Unit 28B, hit the market March 10th for $769,000, under contract 22 days later, and closed April 25th for $755,000. That's a $14,000 drop from list price. Now, what we don't know is if that drop is a negotiation during the inspection contingency period or if that was the price of the initial offer before acceptance. But let's take a look at the next home, which shows the opposite result. 827 Rockwell Ave was coming soon for 16 days, starting on February 17th, active for just under $730,000, under contract 6 days later on the 10th, and closed April 22nd for $35,000 over the list price at $765,000. Take note, not all homes are selling for less, especially in the Montgomery County area. 9580 Fields Road hit the market March 13th at the list price of $720,000, 16 days later under contract, and sold for $730,000 on April 24th, another sale over the list price. Now, 627 Diamondback Drive, Unit 15B, this one had quite an eventful timeline, having been listed initially for $624,000 back in 2019. But canceled after being on the market for over 111 days. It was relisted end of December in 2024 for $695,000, under contract by January 15th, and sold April 1st this year for $702,000. After all that time, about 7 years, it sold for $78,000 more than it possibly would have in 2019. This is the prime example of how some homes just take time to find the right buyer. The next two properties were taken off the market in April with no final sale. You've heard me talk about 404 Hendricks Ave in my November and December reports last year. Initially listed for $1,050,000 on November 5th, taken off the market temporarily 38 days later on December 13th, back on the market December 26th, price dropped $61,000 by January 1st and another $26,000 on February 9th before being canceled entirely on April 25th. That's 4 months and 20 days of market activity. 629 Diamondback Drive, Unit 16A, was listed April 11th for the sale price of $630,000. The sellers also considered renting the property instead on April 30th, with the rental price being $3,400 a month. Both the sale and the rental listing were recently taken off the market. Maybe they found a renter or a buyer, but we won't know until the next month's report. Only one property went under contract in April. 327 Crown Park Ave was active April 25th for $1.25 million and immediately taken under contract the next day. The following homes were and still are active and open for showings. The condo at 136 Salinger Drive, Unit 136, was listed coming soon April 29th and is now active for $635,000. Also, there are no interior photos as of yet, so keep your eyes peeled. Now, 210 De Coverly Drive, Unit 106, this condo has had quite the ride, being initially listed back in September of 2024 and for about $780,000. Price cut in October, down $15,000. Withdrawn in December, and is back on the market as of April 16th after being canceled a second time back in March with the new list price of $735,000. It also recently had a price drop to just under $725,000. Buyers may be thinking, how low can you go? 9664 Fields Road went active April 10th for $745,000 and is still standing. 1009 Rockwell Ave has been on the market for 2 weeks, now at the list price of $750,000. 223 Crown Park Ave was listed April 26th for just under $875,000, still available to see. 243 Strumner Lane has been active since April 24th for under $970,000. For those of you keeping count, that was 7 new listings, 12 active during the month, 2 price drops, 2 new contracts, 4 closed sales, and 1 failed listing in the month of April. Let's jump straight into the April numbers for Gaithersburg. Prices first. Home values ticked up 4.2% compared to March. Steady appreciation, even with more inventory coming online, shows that buyers are still willing to pay premium for the right property. Speaking of inventory, we saw 119 new listings in April. That's a 41.7% surge over March and the exact same jump over April last year. More choices for buyers, but also more competition for sellers to stand out. How are the buyers responding? I logged 75 new contracts, up 2.7% month over month, which is exactly even with last year. In other words, demand is pacing right alongside the new supply. Recent closings tell the story of earlier months. 68 homes settled in April, 54.5% more than March, though still 7% shy of last April. That kind of delay is standard, as closings often happen a month or two after contracts. Speed of sale is where things get interesting. Median days on the market are still a lightning fast 7 days, just 1 day longer than in March. But the average days on market ballooned to 39 days. That gap means most well-priced homes are flying off the shelf, while a handful of overpriced listings are still sitting long enough to skew the average. The bottom line is inventory is opening up, prices keep inching higher, and well-presented homes are still disappearing in a week. For sellers, accurate pricing and standout marketing are crucial. For buyers, wider selection offers a bit more breathing room, but be ready to make a move on the right house. Be sure to check back next month for another Crown Farm market report, or if you prefer more timely updates, including all of the listing photos of each property, register at the link in the description and we'll set you up with a free automatic email anytime a Crown Farm property hits the market, has a price change, goes under contract, or closes. And remember, if you or one of your Crown Farm neighbors are looking to buy or sell, give me and my team a call. I'm Jess with Hagan Realty, and Crown Farm, you'll be moved.